What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Valenti VOD. I'm your perfect and humble leader, Chris Valenti. It looks like Trump is cutting ties with Israel and Bibi Netanyahu. Now, here's the thing, my personal take, no, he's not. He's going to say this, of course, but I don't trust Trump as far as I can throw him, and he's morbidly obese, so I can't throw him very far. But part of the reason why Trump is quote-unquote cutting ties with Israel and Bibi Netanyahu is because of Mike Waltz. You know Mike Waltz, the national security advisor, the one who accidentally added the Atlantic reporter to the Signal group chat, the one who's responsible for leaking all of those messages. Well, Mike Waltz has just been fired, and he's being moved to a different position. And it turns out that the reason why is because Mike Waltz, allegedly, is an Israeli spy. And he has been gathering intelligence on the Trump regime and sending it back to Israel through another Signal chat. Allegedly. So we're going to cover this, but before we do, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. This is real independent media, folks, so if you do want to help me out financially, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could become a patron on Patreon for $5. You could become a member on YouTube for $5. You could buy some of this dope-ass Valenti Videos merch right down below, and you can use a 40% off discount for the Vantage subscription on Ground News, located in the description below. But without further ado, Let's cover the Trump regime having an Israeli spy amid their mix. Waltz reportedly archived Signal messages on Israeli intelligence-linked app. There's a picture of Mike Waltz, probably texting Ben-Gvir. I don't know what to do! I don't know what to do! Former National Security Advisor Mike Waltz archived official government messages sent on Signal through an Israeli app with strong ties to Israeli intelligence and military, new reporting reveals, exposing a glaring data security vulnerability within the top ranks of the Trump regime. On Thursday, a picture of Waltz's phone in a cabinet meeting published by Reuters circulated on social media, with users noting that it appeared to show Waltz on the encrypted messaging app Signal. The screen showed various message chains that appeared to be with figures like Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, U.S. Middle East Envoy Steve Witkoff, and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. However, as some journalists noted, a banner at the bottom of the screen showed that Waltz was using a companion app made by a firm called Telemessage, which allows users to archive messages on Signal, where users can use settings to auto-erase messages. So, just so you understand, Signal is supposed to be like an encrypted way of texting, almost like Snapchat, where the messages are gone afterwards. The only reason for you to have an app like Telemessage that archives those messages is if you are participating in subterfuge. Good on you, Mike. Trying to tear down the Trump regime from within. Maybe ain't so bad after all, huh? This may be Waltz's answers to attorneys suing the United States over officials like Waltz seemingly using Signal to discuss sensitive military and other top-level information to evade requirements for government records to be archived. As DropSite reported on Friday, Telemessage is an Israeli firm founded by a former Israeli military intelligence official who was a leader in, quote, one of the IDF's intelligence elite technical units, his biography says. In fact, many of Telemessage's executives and top employees have backgrounds within Israeli military intelligence, with experience in technology and computers within those roles. One employee served within Unit 8200, which has been likened to the U.S.'s National Security Agency and labeled as a spy agency. So all of this starts coming out about Mike Waltz, sharing classified information, sending it back to Israel, and we end up with this. Trump cuts ties with Netanyahu over manipulation concerns. So Trump finds out about this. He fucking fires and moves Mike Waltz. He's pissed as fuck, and suddenly he tells Netanyahu he's cutting all ties. And the thing is, he's not going to. Hey, Donald, don't you remember Jeffrey? Your good old pal, Jeffy Epi? Don't you remember the Lolita Express where you used to allegedly fuck all your wife's friends in front of them as a power play? Don't you know that Jeffy Epstein was a Mossad agent? Don't you know that Israel has all the blackmail on you that they could ever possibly need, Donnie boy? You don't have the cards. You don't even know how to play. You stupid fuck. Everything's computer. Anyway, let's read. U.S. President Donald Trump has decided to cut off direct contact with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, a report said Thursday. Yanir Kozin, a correspondent for Israeli Army Radio, said in a post on his X account that Trump made the decision after close associates told Israeli Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer that the president believes that Netanyahu is manipulating him. An Israeli official added that Dermer's tone during recent discussions with senior Republican figures about what Trump should do was seen as arrogant and unhelpful. The official said that people around Trump told him that, quote, Netanyahu was manipulating him, which he is. Quote, there is nothing Trump hates more than being portrayed as a fool or someone being played. That's why he decided to cut contact with Netanyahu, the official added. Kozin pointed to the Israeli government's failure to present a concrete plan and timeline regarding Iran and Yemen's Houthis as a source of the worsening U.S.-Israel relationship. The Army radio correspondent also highlighted that the Netanyahu government has failed to offer a concrete proposal on Gaza. So, Israel saying we're going to completely dominate and conquer every last square inch of Gaza, Trump didn't give a fuck about that. Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu being a war criminal and having an arrest warrant from the ICC, that means nothing. None of what you and I care about when it comes to Israel and Palestine matters to Trump. What matters to Trump is he's manipulating me. He's manipulating me. He's using me. He's making me look weak and small and weak and small. I'm not weak and I'm not small. That's why Trump is quote-unquote cutting ties with Netanyahu. Now, here's the thing. He's not going to actually cut ties with Netanyahu. Give it a couple of days. They'll be right back to good graces. This is what Trump thinks the art of the deal is. But I can't help you. Listen, I wish I had a way to soften the blow for you, but I don't. So real quick, let me just remind you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing and it helps me immensely. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, hit that video over there. I promise you it's an absolute fucking banger. It's probably about Stephen Miller being a fucking Nazi. Have a good one.